Hi, this is meant to give you kind of an overview of the candle lab, and hopefully if you were absent you'll be able to piece together what we did, and I will try to put some makeup data on the website. So basically what we're going to be doing is burning a candle, and we're going to burn those candles in different size beakers and graph the relationship between the size of the beaker or the volume of the beaker and how long the candle actually lasts. And one of the things I'm going to ask you to do is predict, before you do the lab, how long you think a candle would burn in this fish tank right here. And also, how long would the candle burn in the room if we could seal off our classroom. One of the things that you need to know, first of all, is the actual volume of these beakers. And let me back up for a minute. We're going to use the data from the beakers to actually figure out how long it would burn in a fish tank and see how close your prediction was. So what you're going to first do is figure out the volume of the beakers. Now they do state volumes on these beakers, but they're not very accurate. So instead, we're going to fill the beakers with water and measure that in a graduated cylinder. So it might look something like this, just to show you what we did. You might fill the smallest beaker first, pour that into a graduated cylinder, read the volume on there, okay? Now, like I said, I'm going to put data on the website, so if you missed all this lab, you'll be able to get that data. But let's just pretend it doesn't quite say, let's just say it says 60 milliliters. So this 50 milliliter beaker that says 50 on it has an actual volume of almost 60. Again, don't use that number, use the makeup data. But I want to show you how we got the volumes. Now that method works pretty good, but once we get to these big beakers, it's a lot of pouring of water. So what most students did is, let's say they knew this one right here was 60, they set that aside. They'd fill the next size up. They'd fill the next size up with water. They'd pour this out, and they knew they poured out 60 milliliters. And then they would pour that extra water into a graduated cylinder. And they'd say, well, if I have 60 here plus 50 there, I know this next size up must be 110. So one of the things you have to do is write the procedure for how to do that. And so you can use this little video tutorial to at least be able to write up some procedures of how we calculated the volume of the actual beakers themselves, and then you can get the real data for the real volumes on the makeup data. Okay, so now we have the real volumes, and then the next thing we did is we burned the candle in each one of these containers. So we would light the candle, and we would burn in each beaker. Now, a lot of the beakers they have a lip on them, and so air can get in there. So what students did is they used a little clay to seal that air up, start a stopwatch, put it over the candle, and measure how long it took for the candle to go out. Okay? And we tried to do between 2 and 4 trials for this lab. And again, rather than actually me trying to give you data on here, you can download a makeup data table on the website to help you make that data up. Okay? So that's the first part of the lab.